Okay, so here's a story that happened in my life. And it's actually real. It's not fake. So what happened is that one time when I was 5 or 6, my grandma took me to the store and she bought me earrings and I liked it. So I went to tell my aunt and she told me go to hell. So the thing that happened before she told me that a couple days ago before that happened, she had an argument with my mom. And so the argument passed. And that's the moment that a couple days later I went to buy earrings and I already told the story, that part of the story. And she told me to go to hell. And yeah, I went to the restroom and I cried. Because sometimes you need to take away that sadness out of your head. And so that's one story with my aunt. Another story with my same aunt, like her evilness will never freaking pop out of her. Another thing, when I was 10 already, I accidentally pulled my cousin's hair because we were playing, and he started to cry, and he told his mom that I pulled his hair. His mom came outside, and I already went inside the house, and she called me a mocosa. And I'm like, okay, why is she calling me a mocosa if I'm 10? And mocosa technically means you stupid little child. But why is she calling me a mocosa when I'm 10? And her son, compared to me, which is 76, he's not a mocoso. Like, a mocoso is like when you're like, I don't know how to explain it. But she told me that, and I'm like, isn't her son a mocoso? Plus, she has another kid that's 10, which is the same age as me. And so, technically, he's also mocoso. Okay, listen, if you're 10, you're a mocoso. If you're under 10, you're also a mocoso. Okay? And and one day ago, she told me that everything that comes out of my mouth is shit. I know, mean. And I'm like, okay. And the purpose that happened, the reason why that happened is because my cousin he broke his like bike, motorcycle, something like that. It looked like a motorcycle. He broke it, and my cousin, the older one that's 10, he started to cry. And his mom was like, why are you crying? And and the cousin was like, oh, because Andy broke my bike. And my cousin called my other cousin, my small cousin. And he was like, what? And my aunt was like, I give you 10 minutes to fix it right now. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good actually. Like that's what I'm doing right now. And my aunt, like, she doesn't really talk that much English, but she thinks she talks professionally English. She doesn't. She doesn't even know how to say aunt in English, which is really easy. Wait, what? What did he say? She doesn't know how to say tia in English, which is aunt. And also, she told me, she came outside and he's like he's he's not done. He wasn't done yet. And then my older cousin, he went outside and he looked. And I'm like, no, qué pendejo. Qué pendejo. Because I was talking to my brother. And then my aunt came, and before that happened, my cousin told he told me, you too, Layla. And I'm like, okay. And so when that happened, my aunt comes outside, and in Spanish she told me, why did you call your cousin that? And then that's the moment when she told me, everything that comes out of your mouth is shit. And I'm like, okay. But this time I didn't cry. Well, before all that, before the thing where she told me that everything that comes out of my mouth is, trash. Isn't trash another word for shit? I think. So she told me that, and when that happened, before all of that happened, well, it was like when they were coming and to pay because we're gonna move in. I splattered paint for an accident, and my uncle, supposedly my new uncle, broke his phone, and it was cracked. So what my aunt did, the phone that she bought her son before they even got married, and he put that ring in her finger. She gave my cousin's phone to supposedly my new uncle, to him, and he gave the broken phone, which one of those, just thinking what could happen to your son's finger or whatever he touches the screen with could, one time my tablet was cracked, and I was watching YouTube, and then the piece of glass got stuck in my finger, and I had to pull it out, and it was bleeding. Now, what about if that happens to him? I know, it's messed up. And so he has a brand new phone that's not even cracked, it's all perfect, and it has everything. She gives that to supposedly to her husband. My cousin goes to school. He does not get paid to go to school. Her husband works, gets money per hour, or I don't know. He wins money. But does his son? No. He could buy himself another phone. And then she told me, yeah, I know. So shut the she told me that. And I'm like, what were you gonna say? She's like, nothing, I just said shut up. And I'm like, who are you to talk to me like that? And I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm your tia. And I'm like, but the rest of the sentence she said it in Spanish, but she said it in English. Then she said in English the whole entire sentence, but then she said that little part in Spanish. And she was like, and I'm like, okay, that's what she wants to play. Sorry, this angle doesn't look good. I thought it was gonna look good. Ooh, that looks good. When she said that, I was like, okay. And then she told me, and then I got sad. I'm like, okay. And I got disappointed. I told my dad, and my dad was like, just leave it alone. Like, she got mad at me and stuff. And before that, she cooked for me and for my grandma and her family. And I was washing the dishes, and I'm like, I don't know what I said. Like, my dad always told me, when you go to visit in a person's house, you always need to wash your plate. No matter what they say, wash your plate. And if they want to wash it, it's okay. Give it to them if they want to wash it. But always wash your plate when you go to a person's house and they invite you to eat. So yeah, I washed my plate, and then I told my aunt what my dad says, and they had their plates all piled up before they came and lived there. My grandma used to live there. My grandma was still living there. So, when that happened, my grandma's like, oh, my aunt was like, oh, that's the only good thing your dad has taught you. And I'm like, hell no. My dad has taught me other nice things and manners. Like, don't put your elbows in the table. Or don't rest your head when you're eating. Because that's like, when you're resting your head to eat, when you're eating and you're like that with your hand, it's like saying, I'm bored. I don't want to do this. Why am I even doing this? Like, what's the point? It's like saying that. And then when you're putting your elbows on the table, it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care in this table. I don't care about no one in this table. It's like saying that. So don't be saying that my dad doesn't teach me nothing good, because he does. And that's all the stories I have for you today. Bye.